Welcome to the Introduction to Engagement Sliders. In our session today, we'll be covering these points: what Engagement Sliders is and how it was created, the functionalities it has available, next steps considering how Engagement Sliders might work in your school context, and how Te Kete Hono could support this. The name Te Kete Hono means the unified, connected and joined basket. It holds and connects essential everyday tools for learning, and that's where Te Kete Hono provides products like School Talk and Sliders. Behind Te Kete Hono is a strong vision and mission. We're a non-profit with the aim of making teaching and learning better for all. It's important to know that any profit that is generated goes back to our investors, who then invest it back into education. Our belief is that all digital products and services that we provide should be equal access to all learners. We strive to help schools who work with us to enable this to happen. Behind TKH is our wonderful board. We're lucky enough to have an experienced team on our board who come from a range of backgrounds. We have a balance of experts from the tech industry and the education sector. Hugh Green Foundation is our philanthropic investor, and Judy Newcomb is our CEO. There is a strong methodology behind our apps, and they are all created under the basis of the Teaching, Learning and Assessment Cycle, or the TLA. We know that great teachers take information like assessment, observations, or discussion with learners and think about what these learners need. This information informs their learning design. We know that good teachers then reflect on this information. Sliders support the teachers in this process. The TLA methodology is something we always come back to when designing new features on our apps. T, teaching. The learning design. It covers what, who, and why. The teachers use the assessment information gathered to plan their learning. L, learning. What's causing the learning? How is it happening? A, assessment. A great teacher will always reflect and assess and ask themselves, have I hit the mark? Looking at formal, informal assessments, anecdotal notes that they're gathering. Great teachers are already doing all these things. Our apps just make them more efficient and even more effective by codifying good teacher practice. A little bit of background behind Sliders. The concept started back in 2018, and the idea for Sliders came from this book, The Formative Five. Funding was secured from the Teacher-Led Innovation Fund, and the project was led by Jana Benson. It started with this table, which has developed over time. Research tells us that the more engaged learners are, the better progress that they will make. The top right quadrant of this table is what we call the sweet spot, and this is where teachers are aiming for. It's the spot where learners are challenged appropriately and are enjoying the learning. Sliders was trialled amongst some of our schools, and this information was fed back and has led to the app that we are sharing today. Sliders can capture instant feedback and learner voice. The app captures a learner's engagement as they reflect on their enjoyment of a learning task or a learning area. Teachers get instant insight into how learners are feeling. This enables them to take action and change up their learning design to better meet the needs of their learners. It enables teachers to have conversations with students that they didn't necessarily know they needed to have, or it confirms hunches that they had. Using Sliders, teachers and leaders can filter learners' results by a range of demographics, subjects, and timeframes. This screen shows the learner view. When students receive a survey, it comes via a link with some instructions. 2 questions are posed that the learner needs to answer. They simply slide the dot to suit how they are feeling. Learners are encouraged to add some additional notes. The idea is this might help teachers improve their learning design by giving them extra feedback. What we now see is the teacher view. A teacher can select a questionnaire that they have sent out and view the results. Here we can see the 4-quadrant matrix. All of the round black dots are the individual learners who have responded. To the right, the teacher can see the responder notes. On the left-hand side of the menu, a teacher can filter and find and view an individual's responder's information. The filter function allows teachers to dive deeper into information of an individual student or a group. You can look closer at a range of curriculum areas, lessons, and over a set period of time. The benefits of sliders mean that teachers can gain quick insights into learner engagement, and they can use this information to adapt what they have designed, making sure that their learning design hits the mark for each child. It also prompts teachers to have conversation with learners about their learning in a meaningful way. The engagement slider tool helps teachers in the moment to know who they might check in with, what they may ask, and how they may adapt their learning design to better differentiate and meet the needs of their learners. Teachers are also able to track engagement over time. This is a great tool for teachers to reflect on their learning design and adapt their teaching to better suit the needs of their students based on the feedback they're receiving. In addition, learners can have the opportunity to develop those reflective capabilities, that sense of control over the direction of their own learning. It is not just about what the teacher wants to do, but what the learner feels is right for them. These learning conversations teach the learner how to better consider and articulate their own needs, which the teacher can incorporate into their learning design. Sliders can be used to track a lesson series or inquiry over time. Gives teachers the chance to gain insight and feedback, adapt and change their approach to suit the needs of their learners. As in this example, ideally tracking would show a shift over time in engagement and the sense of challenge that the learners are feeling. We can see from this example that the dots are gravitating towards that sweet spot in the top right quadrant, which shows engagement is improving over time. Sliders is not limited to our school age learners. It could be used for PLD to track staff engagement and challenge. Linking back to our values, it's Te Kete Hono, it's important to us that all schools have access to all of our products to support teaching and learning. Here we see our pricing, our annual subscriptions. We also offer bundle packages for sliders and school talk together, if that is something that interests you. For information regarding this, contact admin@teketahono.nz.